Hi everybody, welcome to How to Describe Pictures session for English ICAO Level Vocabulary Practice. Based on the video that's referenced on the slide from the EnglishForICAO.com site. Now everyone knows that the speaking part of the ICAO test can be a challenging and stressful situation, so when it comes to describing pictures. And in that case, it's better to keep in mind a clear structure that you can follow easily. So, we could say that each picture can be interpreted in a few layers, 3 to be precise. The first one would be the description of the facts. The second would be the speculation phase. And the third, the comparison with what has happened in the past, maybe. We'll discuss all three areas, and I'll try and give you the best pieces of advice on how to enrich your exam speaking time and impress these examiners with a very well-planned, structured speech. The first phase would be facts. Describe what you see. Try to always begin with a description of facts. You know, the easiest and the most natural thing are the undeniable facts, that what everyone can see and yourself. You could use a few phrases in almost every case. Here are some good examples of these phrases. Foreground versus background. In the foreground, that's the front of the composition. In the background, the back of the composition. And then indoor versus outdoors. Indoors being inside a building or inside an interior. You see things design. Outdoors, what's taking place outside. Always describe weather conditions in aviation. And then you could go through to top versus bottom. Probably the easiest. But candidates seem to forget about them. At the top you say, and at the bottom, what do you see? And then you go through the corners. They're a perfect point of reference. In the left corner, in the right corner, in the bottom left or bottom right-hand corner, in the top left or top right-hand corner. And then in the picture itself, you could say, in the picture shows, the picture depicts, and this picture illustrates. Try to use the present continuous tense, because this tense describes what is happening in the picture at the moment. A random example to illustrate this is the person who is sitting in the foreground seems to be an elderly woman in her mid-90s. She's wearing a polka dot dress, yellow jacket, and black high heels. Okay, now let's go on to the speculation phase 2. Once you've described the facts, you could go on to using your imagination to say what could have happened or what is going to happen. The aim of this part is to express possibility and so present your ability of logical thinking, followed by a plain English language structure. So this layer number 2 is a tremendous area of speculation. It allows you to use your favorite and well-practiced grammar structures that we are going to look into together. Let's start off by looking at the beginning of a sentence. So many people start off by saying, I think. Well, if you really have to say I think, then do it. But everyone says that. It's not impressive for an examiner's ears. So use forms that will make your speech outstanding, like, I guess, I suppose, it looks as if, it seems, I'd say, judging by his or her appearance, he or she seems to be. As far as I can see, this picture was taken. My intuition suggests, or it tells me it could be. So there you are. Don't forget, sensory impressions, seems like or seems is different to looks like, and we'll go into that together. So let's check out looks like. Looks like is used to talk about guesses that we make based on visual information, things we can see. Okay, he looks like he's enjoying the flight. He's got a big smile on his face. He's giving us a thumbs up. He looks like he's happy. The next picture, it looks like a bird strike. Well, there's the nose cone. It's full of blood. The windscreen seems to be full of blood too. It looks like, on the evidence, that there has been a bird strike. Now, when we use seems, we use it to talk about things we can't quickly confirm, like emotions. meaning, look at this first picture. He seems shocked. We haven't got real evidence, but that's what that's the state he seems to be in. The pilot seems distracted. He's looking at a pad while he's landing. So he seems distracted. It's just a sort of we imagine from what we can see that would be the situation. Now, of course, all our modal verbs come into play. And we could use expressions like it must be, they have to be, he may be, it must have been, she should have never brought. And of course there's quite a wide range of modals. There's can, could have, must, need, must have, may, might, would have, shall, need, have to, ought to, dare, should have, will be, able to, forced, will have to, and allowed. So quite a range of meanings there. Now we're going into the paraphrase, which is crucial during a speaking exam. So if you can't remember a word, please don't ever admit that you don't know what to say. It's the worst thing you could do. So just try and work around it using other words to describe what the word that you're trying to find or think of. It's very useful during the examination. And of course, always remember to do your best. Never get up. Never admit you don't know a specific thing or an occupation. Try as much as you can. And believe me, of course, your efforts will pay off. Going into the third phase then, comparison and expressing your opinion. Third and last phrase, last area of your interest should be comparing and expressing your opinion. So, similarities. Is there anything that links you somehow with the people or the circumstances that you see on the picture? And you can emphasize it. Find similarities between yourself and a picture. Your speech will sound much more natural. For example, everyone who works in aviation industry should know that, or this photo deals with one of the most dangerous aspects of my work, or I always admired people who. You could, of course, always give a reminder of the rules. You are allowed to invoke aviation rules and regulations. For example, according to a shortly republished ICAO amendment, all the pilots and air traffic controllers are obliged to, etc., etc. So, giving your opinion from what we said before. In my experience, if I were in his or her situation, I would. I wish, as far as I know. I may be wrong, but in my opinion, as far as I'm concerned, I'd like to emphasize that. My personal view is that, or I claim. So here's a final summary to sum up what we've been through together. Your speech has to have a clear and organized structure. And in that case, you're more likely to pass the exam. Please eliminate chaos. You need to follow a clear pattern that leads you from the very beginning to the end. So, first of all, concentrate on a picture and gather ideas for a short time. Then say what is happening in the picture. Present the facts with the support of the present continuous tense. For example, she's bending down and holding her knees. Secondly, try to speculate using various tenses. For example, she's in her late 30s. And imagine what has happened if it could have been a terrorist attack in the past, and how it could influence the future. In my opinion, these situations should be eliminated in the future due to increasing detailed security check carried out by airport staff. So you're going from the present, the past, and into the future. Mix the tenses. Never stick to just one structure because it will sound dull. It's better to try and make a better impression for the effort than not trying at all. And remember, non-verbal communication also contributes to overall candidates' very good impression. So smile to the examiners and always be polite.